Okay, this is the video on how to set up and run the Piranha Pawn. Couple things you need to have. You need to have your blank. This blank is 2.5 inches wide, 1.78 inches tall, and 8 inches long. I usually put top on the top, bottom on the bottom so I don't get confused, and then I also mark the center line of the block. That is to line up with the center line here on my board. That center line and this center line I line up when I mount the block, and I have a center line right down here. So I line them up, and that's where I'm going to clamp it. Well, it's kind of loose in there now, so what I'll do is I will adjust these side clamps, and I like these for the very fact that they kind of hold it a little bit more steady in there. I keep that clamp square because I have lines here that I can compare to the center line. Now this is not a, you don't have to get crazy about the accuracy, but I like to get this center line on this center line. It just makes your life easier down the road. Plus I'm a little bit anal sometimes. Okay, we've got the block in there. It's nice and secure. Now we take our clamps, clamp it down, and I put the clamps on an angle, and the reason for that is that our pilot holes are going to be about here and about here. If I put the clamp there, obviously it's going to hit the clamp. And as you can look at my clamps, they've been hit a few times. Now you tighten this guy up, and you want it pretty secure. That's what I like about doing it this way. With these clamps on the side, it can't move side to side. These clamps here hold it down, so it's not going anywhere. The next thing I need to do, because I'm going to be roughing, is to change the bit. Make sure you turn off your router. We're going to have a 1/4 inch up cut that we're going to install. Now, once we got our bit installed, the thing you got to remember on two-sided machining is all of these files are set up to be your origin X and Y is in the center, and the Z is going to be on the top side of the block. And then when we do and flip it over and do the bottom side, we are then going to do it off of the face of the fixture. The reason for that is that we want everything orientated from this particular surface. So now we're ready to take our tap plate and set the Z height. So we're going to bring it down a little bit so it doesn't have a long time to go. Touch plate, say OK. Now we have to come up and make sure we got a good circuit. And then we hit OK. Our Z height is set. Now we're ready to run our program. You go to the USB and find your appropriate files. We're doing the Piranha Pawn. Got to do the top. Roughing. And now I'm basically ready to go. Turn on your dust collection, run the program. Now we're ready to do the finish cut on this Piranha Pawn. And the first thing we got to do is put in our 1/16 inch tapered ball bit. Okay, after we got the 1/16 inch tapered ball bit in, now we got to sit there and do our touch off. So we get our plate. On some of them, you may have a little burr here. Make sure you scrape it off or whatever so you have a nice even surface to touch off on. We'll bring the plate down a little bit so it doesn't have to travel so far. Hit the touch plate icon, hit OK. Now we have to sit there and show it it's got a complete circuit. Hit OK again. Now our Z height is set. Okay, we go to USB and pick out which tap file we want. We want the tap file for the finish, pawn, finish, material size, yeah, that's correct. We are going off the material surface and we're centered for XY. Now everything is okay. We say next, and at that point we are ready to start our dust collector and start the program.